Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to the channel for more Destiny 2 news and intel. And today's video is going to be a little different. We're only going to cover one topic, and it is a oldie but a goodie. Not in the sense that it isn't new itself, but that this type of farm that we're going to cover has not really seen the light of day, at least for a year or so. But going back all the way to D1 was probably the best way to farm out anything, really, be it power or materials or armor or weapons. Now, in the case that you'll see today, it is not necessarily the best place to farm power, so to speak, but it is the best place and easiest place to farm for the high-tiered armor and weapons. This particular farm will net you at least one of either one of those things every 2 minutes or so, 3 minutes tops, depending on how fast you can farm it out. There are a few specifics that I'll have to talk about in order to maximize this farm. This can be done for tier 5s. In the clips that you'll be seeing, I was getting tier 3s. That's not because tier 5s are not available, but only because I have not actually accessed this farm fully at the time that I was actually recording this. So you can farm this for lower tiers, but also for the absolute highest tier. So we'll cover all the specifics you're going to need to know, but if you enjoy this video, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell to post notifications so you never miss out on any future Destiny 2 content like this. Remember, you can also follow me on Instagram. It'll be linked in the description box down below, and any of those things will also enter you into any future giveaways on this channel. Remember, we do one every 1,000 subscribers, so you never want to miss out. And when we reach 100,000 subscribers on the channel, we'll be giving away a new console or a video card if you play on PC. You can also stick around until the end of the video for the secret hashtag you can leave in the comments section for another entry into the next giveaway for this video. Remember, those secret hashtags stack between all videos. So if you haven't done this on a previous piece of content on this channel, you can always go back, check out another video, and of course, do it again. Also, if you are someone who hasn't subscribed, almost 70% of those who watch my channel regularly are still not subscribed. If you'd like to support the channel, it is the easiest way to do so, and remember, subscribing is free on YouTube. If you choose to leave a tip or become a channel member, remember, you'll also gain a whole bunch more entries into the next giveaway at 100K, but also you will receive a personal friend request from myself and a shout out on a future video. We'll do some shout outs on today's video towards the end, but a lot of today's video is just going to be clips of this farm in action in real time. So I will no longer be talking for the majority of this, but I did want to at least go over all the stuff that you're going to want to know in order to do this for tier 5. So let's get into it now. First thing you're going to want to do is queue up Mythic. This is on Kepler. You have to have the world tier on Mythic. Now, you don't need to have it on Mythic in order to get loot from this farm, but if you want to get tier 4, tier 5s, the higher tier loot, you're going to need to have it on Mythic. But this farm can be done on everything. And the interesting thing about this farm is that it really should not be working the way that it is, and hopefully Bungie doesn't patch it, but make use of it while you can. The next thing you're going to need is the Altar of Reality upgrades. These are tier upgrades for Mythic, or for any tier of the Kepler world. So queue up any one of those that you have. If you don't have any, like I didn't have in this case, you're going to get tier 3s mostly from this, but you can easily make it tier 4 and tier 5 as you rank up respectively. Then you're just going to follow this path. It's a very simple run. And you don't need to do anything here like log back to orbit. You can just stay in the area that you're going to be shown. As I said, this is the kind of farm, going back to D1, if anybody remembers the loot cave, there were actually a couple of different loot caves in D1. There's been a couple of different ones in D2, though never quite as effective as the ones from D1, except maybe for this one. And you'll see what I mean in a moment, because what we're going to be doing is farming out high-level enemies, specifically yellow bar enemies. I believe there might be some orange mixed in, but ultimately always orange or yellow. And they spawn infinitely and constantly. You will never run out of enemies in this area. You'll see there are Vex, as well as, I believe, there's another champion that spawns up in the top right corner. Some invisible enemies. But overall, not too difficult to farm out, and you can actually pick your location that you'd like. There's a cave to the left of where I'm standing, but this was actually one of the places that I liked to stand, just so I was completely out of the melee, but you can still get killed up here. The other great thing about this is that if you do die, you will only spawn just outside of the vantage point that you see, sort of just back towards where I entered the little hallway leading up to here. So as I jump down, you'll see there's a whole bunch of enemies in front of me that you can farm out. There's a cave, as I said, behind me. You can also find some enemies spawning in there. All of them will be yellow bars. And when you're on Mythic and you are killing yellow bars constantly, or really any enemy, there's a chance that you are going to get a drop on a piece of gear or a weapon, and it will be towards whatever your world tier is. On Mythic, the lowest you can be, I believe, is tier 3. I think that's the absolute basement. Let me know if I'm wrong about that, but I believe on Mythic you can't get anything lower than a tier 3. So if you have those upgrades unlocked, you will get a tier 4, tier 5 every single time anyone drops. And as you'll see, I'm here for only about 15 minutes. I get 3 drops. So if you're looking for any of the higher tier armor at the moment, this is probably the easiest way. I don't know if it's necessarily the fastest. I would guess it's at least on par with the fastest. Again, depending on how fast you can just slay everything out in this area. If you brought a couple of buddies here, you could probably make really short work of it. But everything will just continue to respawn in, but the more ultimately that you can kill in the fastest time, the more chances you'll have for loot to drop. So it's really just up to you to farm as fast as you can. So long as you stay in this area, there will always be enemies spawning. You can leave, come back, shouldn't have any issues. Now, as you can see in the clip, I was actually a little low probably to be farming this entirely on my own, but I was still not having that difficult a time. So if you are, I would say, between even 250 to 300, maybe 250 to 300, maybe you want to do this on the slightly lower tier for the world, not Mythic. I think it's Expert below Mythic. But you could probably still be alright, because if you die, you won't be going too far, and you'll spawn back in with everything. Ammo really isn't an issue in this area. There's always something dropping. You can use your super pretty often. I was using Prismatic to sort of double up on that, just so I could, ultimately just get as many chances as possible on something to drop. But it was very, very easy to do. I stayed in here for an hour the other day. As I said, I was getting only tier 3s because I don't have those upgrades, but I had about 20 drops over the course of an hour. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily the fastest, because you can, of course, run other things that have other drops, but I would say that this is one of the easiest. And for tier 5, you're going to be running the more difficult activities. So if you're not up to that yet, if you're a little under level, if you can get those upgrades, or at least one of those upgrades, you will get the higher tier armor. And that is going to be it for all the information in today's video. As I said, only really one topic. We'll probably do another video perhaps tomorrow covering a few other things that you want to know for the upcoming week. We do have Solstice of Heroes starting on Tuesday, so a little bit more information I'd like to cover for that. Remember, Arms Week ends also on Tuesday, so if you haven't had a chance to get the new shotgun hand cannon, I would definitely recommend picking one of those up. Look for an incandescent roll or a 1-2 punch roll, probably the two best for both PvE, PvP. Slide shot is really good for PvP as well, and I would recommend that weapon for PvP. Also, if you haven't played Trials at all, if you can play Trials, there's also a new shotgun hand cannon in Trials, which is Also, I think even a little bit better possibly than the one from Arms Week, at least on par, maybe a little bit more of a PvP focused weapon versus PvE, though I've seen some people using it in tandem with the other shotgun hand cannon. You can get double shotgun hand cannons now. What can be wrong with that? So enjoy that. Make sure you try to get some of that stuff while you can. Remember, Trials does not have any featured loot this week. It's just drops on completions. We also had the hardware. Is it hardware? I always say hardwire. Hardwire seems like it would be more of an interesting name, but the hardware playlist this week in Crucible, which I also would recommend. Very, very fun. And now, at the end of this video, I'd like to just do a few shout-outs of those who have contributed to the channel. As of late, we have SSJ Scoot, we have Vedi Sneaky, we have Kenny Conrad, we have Richard Hartnett, Steve Card, Most Unknown, Jay Talley, Rabbidice, Shadow of Death, Sweden, we have Chris Scott, we have Plucky Disco, Nomad, Justin St. John, C. John, our buddy, DG Striker, our buddy, Chip and Soda, we got Rage Forever, we got Velvet Hammer, Charlie Boy, Sark, Kamar, also Red Dragon, thank you, and good gaming with you, sir. Do some more soon. We have Brizga Foos, we have Ronald Johnson, we have Zach Attack, Aaron Batts, Joachim Upling, DJ Oros, Jade, DJ Oros, of course, our, not DJ Oros, Jade, our buddy DJ Oros, of course, and Jade. We have Divine Lord Sinister, as always. We have Real Dez. Hopefully I haven't been saying his name correctly all this time. He is a close friend, but I can still mess up a name even of a close friend. Tonight is Bat, close friend, Gecko. Hope you're doing well, sir. We have GA Nightmare, got your friend request. Deadpool as well. We have Green Mason. We have Mr. Squeaks. We have Killer Ninja, RKW, Chris Caulfield, Dot Rider. Thank you all. And know that I do read, of course, all the comments and respond to all comments. So if you are also interested in any of the topics in today's video, I'm always interested to hear your thoughts and feedback. So leave that in the comments section down below. It'll also give you another entry into the next giveaway for this video. Also want to do a personal shout out to our very good friend Baked Goodies, as well as Porto Bomber. Always need to give you a shout out too, buddy. So thank you all so much for all the support on the channel as of late. Enjoy this farm. I think it will be around for a little while, but just in case, use it as much as you can before tomorrow's reset, or before Tuesday's reset, excuse me, just in case. You never know when it's going to disappear, but have fun with it. And of course, we will see you in the next video. Little. And if you've watched till this point in the video, bravo to you. Leave a hashtag The Edge of Fate or a hashtag New Loot Cave in the comment section down below for another entry into the next giveaway.